the and whether there's a person or not, just to make it look like we're like so busy. I even answer question that what? All right. Hey, hello people. We're live from Los Angeles. Not Los Angeles, right? Close enough. Well, we're in Las Vegas. Welcome to this workshop presentation. We're Agio Hospitality here. We're really excited to be showing you guys this wonder material that we built with. It's called Resysta. So Resysta is this bionic wood, we like to call it. So bionic wood is a man-made material that has improved quality that makes it very suitable for outdoor. So it's made from rice husk. So rice husk is the envelope of the rice that protects the rice when it's growing. Protects from UV, bacteria, mold, excessive humidity, little critters, dust, you name it. And the rice grows. And then when we human are ready, we take the shell out and we buy this and we make powder and then we cook that powder. And what's wrong? Oh, what's up with the hat, right? Well, it's for storytelling. No magic tricks. It's all science, and I'll explain to you, right? You want to know what's the science behind, right? So this hat, English hat, right? A bowler. But you look inside, it's made in Quebec City. Quebec City. They don't wear that in Quebec City. So why is that made in Quebec City, you ask? Because the material comes from Canada. It comes from Quebec. It's fox felt. It's not wool. It's not sheep skin or sheep wool. It's fox hair, and this gives this hat its unique quality. It's breathable. It's hot for the winter. Keeps warm in the winter. Yet it's breathable and comfortable in the summer. If it gets rained on, it keeps its shape. It's 20 years old. So it's perfect design. It's a holistic design. It's whole. It's the perfect alignment of the material with the function. So we like to think that our material is like that. So this material is water resistant. You can wash it with a hose. You can wash the furniture. It's not gonna split. It's not gonna warp. We test it from 85 degree to minus 30. We put it in a chamber, and for a week we cycle up and down the temperature to see how it's reacting. It's furniture, so it has to withstand that thermal variation for desert or for Dubai or Miami or whatever. So the key difference with wood is that we can form it like this. You can form wood with heat and humidity, bent wood, tonnet, the famous French chairs. You can make boats in wood and form the planks. But this is a lot simpler. It doesn't have a wood grain. We don't have to cut trees to do that. So we're saving trees, and at the same time, we're harvesting, we're recycling uh, carbon matter, sustainable um, material, which is the rice husk. So the rice husk is made into a fine powder, and then we mix it with salt and oil. We put it in high pressure and high temperature, and it becomes a new material. It becomes a fused compound, if you like, and we extrude it. So extrusion, for those who don't know, it's like a giant noodle machine. We produce profiles. So we have here an example this is our demonstration suitcase, and so you can see we have different profile for decking, and we have it uh, with we make it with the center is like lighter density. So it's we have this Resysta board, foam board we call it. We call it universal performance board. You can you can do a lot of things with that. You can do floor, ceiling. You can do a lot of things. The edge is lighter. It's like bread. It's foam. It's porous. So in the engineering, we take that into consideration. But so it's a little bit like tofu. It can be shaped into different material according to the need. Um, it's very different from tofu, in fact. But what I'm saying, it comes in different form factor, different engineered recipe. Now we do that in our factory. You see, we we have the license to produce the Resista in Asia for all of Asia, exactly where the rice is abundant, just like the hat. And we have the production line. It's not like we put our name on something that people produce somewhere obscure. We collect, we buy the rice husk on the market, we shred it, we mix it, we extrude it. So we have many kind of hello. We have many kind of format and profiles, and this is a small sample. There's like I don't know how many. We have like 200 profiles or something like that, and we make it into. Ah, sound is better here, right? So we make decking profile. We can emboss it. I show you with this little light here, so you can have a good view of the texture. You see, so this is embossed. So embossed is great because the edges are soft. If you see and see that, you have a hard edge, we call it. But if you emboss it, it keeps it soft. So that's really a good thing to have. Uh, I'll show you another example of an embossing, which I think is amazing. I like to show that. This is dried flowers pressed into the Resista board. So I was just telling you how fantastic this material is. It's really hard when it's cold or when it's at room temperature. But when it's warm, it's really soft. So it has both strength and finesse. So this is something very valuable. As furniture designer and interior designer here, we have interior designer. I see people signaling. It's really nice to have texture because when you do the finishing, you have something to work with. You have a texture. You have a very nice ground to work your texture. When you have a molded part like that, painting is just a breeze. You just do a base coat and a wash, and the wash pigments just go down in the lows, and it stays there. And there you go, bingo. You have a like a photographic print of a natural material. So it's very close to nature. So, continuing, let's talk about how this is worked because the great feature of this material is that it's worked like wood. It's processed like wood. It's formed like plastic, but it's processed like wood in terms of the manufacturing. So let's look at this. So piece of resistor here. This is solid. It's high density, and I can shave it with a planer. So sounds like just wood to me. So what's great is that we can do all this softening before the forming. So then if you have a handrail and you want this fancy routed profile, like a French molding, a French detailing, you do that before you form it. So you do all your profiling, then you bend it, and you have $1 million handrail for your jacuzzi because you can take the part that is warm and you can bend it on the handrail that is steel, and you let it cool down. You make some fine adjustment when it's cooling down. You have a handrail. Any skilled worker will get it. My daughter was here last year, and I was busy, and I said, well, there's a piece in the oven, do something. And she puts glove. She never worked with it. And she made a bracelet for people in the office like, what is going on, Martin? Your daughter's never touched Resysta. She comes here and she's showing us how to do that. So workers, woodworkers will understand very quickly. So I've shown you the shaving. It's very easy to cut. You can use a rasp. When it's cold, it's hard like maple. When it's hot, it turns into a noodle, right? So another thing that to express just how hard it is this fun test. I'm going to try to plant a nail in that thing. And I look funny here with my hat, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to put my finger into that nail because I know what happens. The nail is bending before. I mean, it's not a big hammer. I'll ask for an upgrade next year, okay? But the truth is that nail didn't go in. It started to bend. I mean, I had to. In wood, maple is a little hard, but if you compare this to teak, which is an outdoor typical material, I mean, the nail would be in already. So it's really hard. And so this is our Resysta formula display. And here on the back, long lasting durability and quality. I think we sense that, correct? Never splinters or warp. So this will expand with heat like any material. We have architect here. They know that you need to work with expansion, right? Engineers, they know that. So what we typically do is we laminate this material on aluminum frames. It doesn't rust. It's very strong. And so the glue is stronger. It will resist the expansion difference between the aluminum and the Resysta. So the glue in between is strong enough to withstand that. So it doesn't warp because the glue is holding it. It's like, you're not going anywhere, buddy. I'm having you. You're stay here. So we test that. That's extensive testing. We've been doing that Resysta furniture for more than 10 years. And we're a major supplier in the retail in the US. So we've got that, the expansion. So continuing onto our checklist. All right. So water, salt, and chlorine, bleach resistant. So let me tell you a story here. I like to tell story. It's a lot easier. I was making this little gift here, the little keychain that we have at the counter there, and someone wanted a special finish. They wanted a painted finish, and all my little gifts were already coated with wax. And so I have an ultrasonic bath in my workshop that I use for cleaning metals and stuff. And I put NaOH, which is a super strong alkali. You can erase your fingerprints on your skin if you leave your hands in that chemical for too long. And Chat GPT, all right, do this, Martin. Your wax is gone. I put that in warm water with this super strong alkali, ultrasonic cleaning. 5 minutes, all wax was gone. It was perfect. I painted it. So it's a high performance material. So I think at this point I need to mention, Martin, what's that? What's that? Well, I'm going to call you on your BS. Well, my father was an architect, and we built a sailboat together. So that's how I know how to, all the electrical and all that fun stuff. this is all homemade for this demonstration. And a sailboat is just about the most challenging thing to build because it's hit by waves constantly. It's exposed to salt. It's exposed to sun, and it has to float, right? And it's performing. It's under a lot of stress. It's very demanding. And then on top of that, you live in that thing. So everything has to be finely engineered. So I speak from that perspective of experiencing what it is to engineer material. And by the way, my father being an architect and just he had expensive taste, he finished a whole interior in solid teak. So that's how I learned how to do the woodworking. I was a kid and my sisters were helping. They were doing the sanding and all of that. So that's the background. And then I designed solid wood furniture in Canada out of maple and cherry. And so I know the importance of detailing. My little light again. So you can do this on the router and do this beautiful detailing, and then you bend it afterwards. So you give this to a workshop and you've got this twisted shape, and you say, well, I need this molding here. It's very hard to do on the curved part. So again, we do that before bending. It's a lot easier, adds a lot of value because for those furniture designer here, you know that when the light falls on that molding, on that detailing, it reveals it. It gives that dimension, that depth, that finesse. So that's the beauty of that. So what do we have here? UV safe and fade resistant. So being having a very high silicone content in the rice husk, it gives it that resistance to UV. Now, typically we coat this with polyurethane. Polyurethane is a very durable finish, and we bake it. We can make a lot of finishes, so it's a very durable product. So we have talked about its work like wood. It holds very nice machining. We actually make a lot of factory parts for jigs and fixtures and actually mold. Like sometime we'll mold this material over another part of Resysta. So it's very fun. It's very for designers. It's really a wonder material. So we've talked about oatmeal, the oatmeal cookie, the analogy between how the oatmeal is built, and we've talked about the fact that if I cut this cookie with a knife and I hit a peanut or a piece of raisin, it's not going to cut equally, right? And you kind of struggle with it. Everybody's done that, right? If you haven't, I have cookies here. So this gives the random texture, this random brushing. The white lines are created by this abrasive running through a field of choppy silicone rice husk parts. So that's the random, that's the natural beauty. So it's warm to the touch, and our designers, they know that everything is rounded, everything is soft, everything, and the curve separates it from, forgive me, from stick furniture, right? And so for designers, it's really interesting because you can do your organic twist. So it's so this is a piece of solid, and it's hot. It will stay hot for about 20 minutes. It's solid. So you can see how it twists. So if I had, well, okay, it's been in the oven too long. I'm talking too much. Okay, so if I had softened the edge, I would have that soft edge right out of the oven. So it's really a nice material like that. So let's put this little popsicle stick. So this little guy, we're gonna turn it into the keychain gift. So what we're doing here is like I said, we can process this flat. So we take this wide sheet. It comes in 4 by 8. I've had some people earlier. They wanted a 9.5 feet tall sheet of material. We can do it. If you have an order, we can take it. We can make 9.5 feet. We probably can do more than that. We've done sailboats with longer parts than that. So we take this and then we round the edge, and then we do the sanding on the edge all around. Factory guys, they're like, well, really need, yeah, you need to do that. You need to sand all around, because when we form it in this little guy here, it comes out ready. It comes out ready because the compressing and the forming, it just moves away things, but it stays soft and round. So that's the beauty of this organic material, is that we can get this roundness. So the keychains are made from that. So this, I have to pay attention because it will get, if we leave it in the oven for too long, just like oatmeal cookies, right? Watch your cookies. So we just put this in, so we're good. And so as I was saying, we not only make furniture, we make the material. So we can make custom parts. If you come to us and you say, Martin, uh, our whole team is here. We have a lot of people from the company, and we have our marketing people, we have designer, we have sales. It's a big team, and I thank them for supporting this presentation. You guys have done an awesome job. My team in China, they've made that. We've made that together, and they delivered. Thank you, Azio. Azio, Azio, Azio. Right. Um, as we're waiting here, I'm just filling the blanks. So, like woodworking people and machinists, they're very proud of their work. They'll come and they'll look at your work and they say, "Yeah, well, you got scratches here. You didn't fit." No, they'll also say, "Well, show me your chips." When you cut the metal, they want to see the chip, because if your chip is well formed, I'm talking about machinists here. Forgive me, ladies. So this is the chip from cutting this material. It rolls like wood, so it's really nice. It's really better than plastic. You can't use a planer like that on plastic, on some very soft plastic, but you wouldn't make furniture with that. So this is we like to call it a bionic wood, because it has the quality of wood, but with human made improvements. One thing that we do is we do co-extruded. So co-extruded, it's got the aluminum inside, the aluminum tube, and then we extrude the Resysta over it. So we pass the tube through another extrusion, and we put the Resysta very thin. So this is a super high performance material format, if you like. It's very convenient, lower price, less labor. That's the future, ladies and gentlemen. Directly from Vegas, only in Vegas. All right. So we're making this little guy. It won't take long. Hold on. So this is a 3-part mold. So I'm just take that thing gently, not too fast. Put it here. Come down, easy. And then I'm a little violent with it. I like that part. All right. It's being forged. It's really literally forging, because we're pushing the material away to create that beautiful organic shape. So it has the logo embossed from the top mold. the top mold is heated. Otherwise, the material wouldn't want to take that embossing. So when you get your keychain, Madame, you will have the logo embossed. Thank you for coming to the workshop. It's awesome to have you guys give you a presentation. I'm honored to be the spokesperson, and I wish everybody finds their passion and has have as much fun as I have. So let's open this guy. It's really quick, and here we have little keychain. So now I'll remove that pin, so we don't have to drill anything. It's ready to go. So that's the storytelling. There's no magic trick. It's all science, engineering, patience, perseverance, and comes from within. Thank you.